This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Starting off with a bit of an around the grounds, and they're saying that Kelly Slater is right next to Jesus. I'm not going to say he is Jesus in the way that he's been a professional athlete over 40 years.
Just like Jesus.
Just like Jesus.
Who famously was a professional athlete.
Jesus was a professional. When did he go professional?
I believe it was 15 AD.
And that was the BX Games, wasn't it? Before X Games.
Jesus and Kelly Slater have a bit in common. They've both walked on water.
They have. Kelly Slater has been given a wild card into the competition next year in the World Surfing League because they just don't want him
Just
to ever
legend
hang up the
status,
boot.
of course you would.
He doesn't have to worry. So in World Surfing these days, you get to the halfway mark, which is Margaret River here, and half the people on the tour, they get axed.
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
the best people just fight it out for the world title. But with Kelly, and he's been axed the last couple of years, but because he's the GOAT, he just...
At what
they just
point
keep
do you have
coming
to
along.
stop doing that and give it to some up-and-comer?
It's a really good point, but I guess if he really still wants to compete,
Yeah.
then...
I know, but when they're gaffer taping your rocking chair to the board, that needs to be an indication that maybe you
51.
should stop.
What a freak show.
Amazing, isn't it?
He's
It
absolutely
is.
brilliant.
Yeah, and look, to be honest, the amount of kids that idolise him for him just to be there
Yeah.
Yeah.
would be huge.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a draw card, for
Yeah.
no doubt about it. Yeah.
Massive.
You'd
I
lose
think
your
it's a good
mind
idea.
if you met him, wouldn't you?
I would. I'd get... I don't know... I remember when I saw Jack Robinson up at Calbarry and I
And you threw your knickers at him.
I
Imagine what
couldn't
you
say
do for
anything. I didn't know what to
Kelly
say.
Slater.
What do I do? How do I act? And he was just... He was, yeah.
Am I walking funny? What have I got in my face?
What
All
about
of
when?
it.
He saw? Was it Bronte McCauley up?
Oh, yeah, Bronte McCauley.
What did
when
you
I
say to
said,
her?
geez, you're pretty good at surfing. You ever thought about going competitions? Yeah, I go on competition. Oh, yeah, what level do you go in? Oh, the C2 tour, which is the world tour. Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
he-
and
So I
because
was right.
you didn't know
he
who
told
she,
somebody
you didn't
who's
know
like in
anything
the top
about her.
10 in the world that
Yeah.
she should give it a go.
God, that's embarrassing. That's like
Classic
that's like
Shawning,
the
isn't
time
it?
that I told Kerry Packer to hurry up and drink all this wine. It's free. Not
No, it was
knowing,
Kerry Stokes.
Sorry, Kerry Stokes, not knowing that he'd paid for it at telethon. No, mate, what do you got half glass for? Fill it up. It's free.
Yeah, go hard.
Nathan filled it to the brim so that it, like the meniscus was up above the level of
waterfall thing.
the glass. Yeah.
It's free.
It's free.
I'm like, Nathan, that guy's paying for it.
The Aussie Diamonds beat South Africa last night. We had Beth Mooney in just a couple of days ago too, and she's top scored for the Perth Scorchers, who won yesterday.
Yeah, they got over the line over
against the Hurricanes. The big news last night was watching Australia play
big
cricket.
show.
Oh my God, Glenn Maxwell went bananas. He set a record. He made his 100 off just 40 deliveries. Went ballistic. And I feel sorry for one of the bowlers who set a record also for the Netherlands. He took 2 for 115, which is a record. So he got smashed all over the town. The worst record
So 115 runs and
off the deliveries he bowled.
Off his 10 overs. Yeah.
No,
So
no.
what's the two?
Yeah,
then?
10 overs.
He took
Two
you
wickets.
taking
Two wickets.
wickets.
He took 2 wickets.
So he took 2 wickets.
There's the bright side.
Yep. Glenn
He conceded a
Maxwell.
lot of runs, Nathan.
He did.
Yes.
They spoke to him after the big hitting display, and he said he probably wasn't feeling it at the start.
I got to admit, I was sitting in the change room and I didn't really want to bat, which is a bit different to last game where I was way too eager to get out there. And then we talked about over-arousal levels and I probably reached double maximum.
Batting arousal levels.
It's best to be under-aroused when batting rather than
I
over-aroused,
think so.
Nathan.
Well, because then obviously
As
it
you know.
finishes too early, doesn't it, Shaun?
Well, that's
your-
right. And
from your cricket career.
Ali did say to me when I got this grab earlier on, she goes, "Is he talking about having a boner?" I was like,
Ali, that's
Does Ali know the
inappropriate.
word boner?
apparently.
No, I've said
Anyway, I
it.
had to ask her to explain it.
Jeez,
And
Ali.
finally, the NBA season got underway yesterday. So Nikolai Jokic, who was the league MVP last year, he dominated again. The Nuggets were able to beat the Lakers. But the big day today, Natalie, the San Antonio Spurs with
We're on
Victor Wembanyama, 7'4", he's got moves like Jagger, is going to take the Denver... Who are they playing? They're not playing Denver. They are playing...
How do you forget that and remember that guy's last name?
San Antonio versus...
They are playing the Mavericks, the Dallas Mavericks, and this kid is... He's God. There we go.
Hang
I'm
on.
going above Jesus.
If Kelly Slater's Jesus, this guy.
Yeah.
What's his nickname?
Oh, they just call him Wemby. But he is an absolute machine. The biggest person we've seen come into the NBA or international sports since LeBron James. Absolutely, this guy's a freak and he's going to dominate. That's all.
Is he better? He's a freak, but he's better than the Greek freak.
He's better than the Greek freak already.
There you have it.
You sound excited.
7 o'clock. Aroused, some might say.
Well, we got superstar Wildcat Jordan Usher in the house. Before we get to him, you can get behind our Perth Wildcats at RAC Arena. Tickets through Ticketek. It's a big moment tomorrow night.
Yeah, and Mitch Norton.
Mitch Norton's back in town, but here's the number one reason to get behind the Perth Wildcats.
The former number 8 at the Perth Wildcats.
Yeah.
Not the current number 8 at the Perth Wildcats.
He's a scrappy cat, that guy. Don't worry about
Don't trust him.
The big deal is Jesse Wagstaff plays his 450th game. He's as old as time, and he's still playing for the Perth Wildcats. Is that right, Jordan?
Yeah, he's super old. Like, he's insanely old, but he's the best guy, and everyone's happy for him.
Yeah, but when he moves, it's just a series of clicks.
Yeah, it's like a haunted house.
That's enormous, isn't it? Playing professionally for 450
I know,
games.
it's extraordinary.
No, it's actually amazing. All jokes aside, it's actually super cool. And to be able to see his kids and how much his kids appreciate it. And, you know, my girl gets to talk to his wife, and just everyone's super happy for him. And he still puts in all his effort, even if he's, you know, coaching us up at practice. Because, you know, he can play both roles. He's been around so much basketball. He can tell the younger guys what to do. And he can show us how to do it, too. So I appreciate it.
Hey, I want to talk about your relationship right now, because I never thought about it. You've moved here. She's moved here.
Yeah.
You get instant friends at the Wildcats.
Yes.
Usually the women are left to fend for themselves.
Yeah.
How's she going?
No, she's been good. She has, you know, okay, so Michael Harris has a partner. A couple of the different players have partners, and she gets to, you know, I feel like she's pretty easy to talk to. I like her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everyone's been really welcoming. Like I was telling you guys earlier, Perth is great.
I know. You were spun out. It's the first time he's experienced, Shaun, and everyone from Perth knows this. It's that people bag out Perth.
Even people from Perth.
People from Perth, and that confuses you.
Yeah, especially like every time, whether it's a clothing store, someone works there, and they're like, "How you finding it?" I'm like, "It's awesome."
Like you've gone through some trauma.
Yeah, and they're like, "No, it stinks here. It's boring." I was like, "Actually, you are insane. It is great." Yeah,
It's kind of an Australian cultural thing.
Yeah.
With everything.
The self-deprecation.
I don't get it. It's a great place. I don't know.
But even when you say if you're over in Sydney or Melbourne or even Queensland, wherever you are in Australia, and you say I'm from Perth, people usually go, Perth?
That's a long way.
And it's like, they question it.
Long way, but I feel like it's killer. I don't know. Maybe stop bagging on your own city. It's great. It's actually great.
An outsider has come here, and he loves it.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, it is a big game against Brisbane to try to get back on track too. Only 2 wins so far this season.
Yeah.
I mentioned this before, but the defence needs to pick up.
Yep.
Probably the one thing that, and it was written in the paper today, was about Bryce not hitting the straps and the level he has in the past, but it's to do with his scoring percentage, really, because he's taking shots.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly chalk it up to the fact of, I feel like it's harder, and you can attest to this in the sports world, I feel like it's harder to gel a team that has a lot of confident scorers and players rather than it is to with 2 players like that and a bunch of role players.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a lot of talent, and, you know, we had a big kind of lemon squeeze or heart-to-heart with the players of we just want everyone to play confident and not anyone to feel like they're stepping on someone's toes or getting in the way of somebody. Just play your game, and then we'll work it out from there, because I feel like we got a lot of firepower, but, you know, a lot of second-guessing at the same time.
Yeah, that's really... I think it's really astute to be able to see that, because I think from outside you can say that the guys that we've seen in the past where the Wildcats have been unbelievably successful, the most successful sporting franchise in Australia.
For sure.
But we know all those guys who played roles wholeheartedly, and they knew
It's the champion team versus the team of champions, isn't it? It's that philosophy.
Absolutely. That's actually a great way to put it. Yeah, that's actually a great way to put it. And I feel like it's just... I hate to say, because it's, you know, we keep saying it's early days, but with each game, a game chalks off the board. But it's only in a matter of time until I feel like we click it together and then figure out, okay, I need to shoot this one now. I need to help right here, because this Bryce is going to shoot this one. He's going to make this one, and no one's worried about stepping on someone's toes. And you know.
You know when it finally does click together and you can feel it?
It's going to be amazing when it does.
Yeah.
Are you worried then afterwards it's going to unclick? Is it like...
I feel like that's just in sports, period. I feel like, you know, even to be a good sports player, you have to get a little butterflies before each game, or else you don't love it, or else you don't love it, or not excited.
Yeah, you're not invested,
and, you know, even when it does click, that's like the honeymoon phase of a relationship. You don't ever want to leave that phase, but then you have to figure out how to work out.
How to keep the magic alive.
Then you have to figure out how to work it after that.
It all comes down to not thinking about it in the end, because it becomes automatic.
Yeah, because
it's not even a thought.
Overthinking is a real, that's to your peril, isn't it?
We don't think a thing in this show.
And it's pretty obvious.
At all.
Hey, Jordan, I was talking about with the NBA starting now, and we just saw yesterday that Denver got off to a good start against LA, but I was mentioning Wemby playing his first game today. Now, how would you describe how good he is?
Not only is he good, he's just actually like a freak of a human.
Yeah.
Like he's
so what's his
giant,
name again?
Wembanyama.
And his arms are...
Victor.
They actually posted a video of his trainer. I think it was like a physical trainer doing defensive slides with him, and he looked like he could wrap his arms around the trainer and then hug himself as well. He is giant. He's huge.
If I had to use one word to explain to him, I'd say length.
He's so
He's
just like stretched out like one of those medieval things.
You know those stretchy dolls he used to. Yes,
but it's not only that he's length and he's 7 foot.
It's his
4
athleticism that
he can ball out
for a big
he
man.
Can move. I think he can move. Most people that big cannot move without falling down.
Look how long his arm span is. He could literally support a hammock and have someone lie in it.
He's giant, man. He's giant.
Insane.
I think around year 4, once he finishes going through puberty, still a baby, and he can get some weight on him.
He may still be growing, which is even more amazing, isn't it?
How would you go about taking him to the hole?
I guess you had to try to punch him in the chest when you're on the way in there. Like, if he uses his length, he's going to block you. I just had to try to beat him up.
It'd be a step back of some sort.
Yeah, for sure.
He'd have to shop at king size menswear.
He'd have to, Andrew Vlahov would take him straight there.
He's just going to have to bring out his
Jordan
own line
chooses to.
He's going to bring out his own line of clothing just so he's got something to wear.
Yeah, I would hate to have that body though. For wearing clothes, it's just nasty.
Imagine how long the slacks are.
It's good for basketball, not great for going out.
You'd have to have your mum making all your stuff, wouldn't you? You'd have to
seriously, the banana would break down because it's sewn through 12 kilometres of material.
When you have to buy that fabric by the meter, it gets expensive.
That's really insane.
Now, last time we saw you, you were talking about wildlife when you were down the beach. Have you had any other weird run-ins along the journey?
No, luckily, no. I still want to see a kangaroo. I haven't seen a kangaroo.
Are you joking?
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells me, but clearly they're not.
Jordan, my son went on camp. I was telling the guys the other day, and they were just had the tent set up, and he put his food just kind of underneath the outer shell of the tent, and kangaroos came at night. He didn't know that they were kangaroos. He just seen these things clawing at the bloody tent, so they were. Yeah, that would terrify me. I would want to see from like behind a glass or something.
What are your thoughts with emus? Have you got any opinions about them? An emu?
I have not even heard of that.
It's a bird, flightless bird.
So
mean-looking.
I feel like in Australia, the kangaroo is the nice person. The Voldemort of the animal world is the emu.
Oh yeah, that looks. It's like a mini ostrich.
No, it's huge. No, it's not mini.
It's smaller than an ostrich.
Well, yeah,
but it's not
mini.
Big.
But they're big.
Are they mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're pricks. Yeah. Anyway, turn around, Jordan. We've got. What if we all just slowly got up and left the room and someone pushed an emu? And koalas as well, Jordan.
Yeah,
WA.
So we don't really have koalas here, but you can.
WA is the only place in Australia where you can hold a koala. It's not allowed anywhere else.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Dude, but they've got chlamydia, so watch out.
I heard that too. They're nasty.
Just don't sleep with them.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.